Episode. Ryan and Kevin here with Chaos MMA. Today we are doing our UFC 275 prediction video for the main card. And if you haven't seen our UFC 275 playlist, go check that out. Yuri interviews in that, some clips from that. So go check that out. And we're just going to start off with the main first fight on the main card with Jack Della Maddalena versus Ramazan Emeev. And let's start it off. Jack, man, the UFC seems high on him if they're putting him on the main card like this. You know, he comes off a first round knockout at UFC 270. He's a contender series winner back in 2019. And then before that, he's just fighting in Eternal MMA, doing all that. You know, he has not lost a fight since 2016. Seems like the UFC is pretty high on this kid. And if he keeps performing like that, can you blame him? And then Ramazan Emeev, he's coming off a loss against Danny Roberts, a split decision back in October. Then before that, he got another split decision win on ABC in January in 2021. Another win before that. He's just a guy, you see his record. He gets a lot of decision wins. He doesn't really get finished. He was last finished back in 2014. So you really can't say he's been finished at all. So I'll make my pick after Kevin.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the stats right now. I really think Jack's just gonna go through him because Jack has so much momentum right now, and recently he's been on this little hot streak, and I think he's just gonna carry it through this guy because the guy's fighting is very his record is not so good.
Yeah, I think Jack goes out there. He gets a decision win. I don't see him finishing Ramazan. He hasn't been finished since 2014. The odds right now are minus 135 in favor of Jack. And if Jack keeps going out there and putting on wins like this, the UFC is going to keep putting him on a main card like this. So
Yeah.
I got Jack by decision. I think he gets it done. I think he wins every round. Basically, I don't think this fight will be that competitive. I really don't. The next fight of the night, Rodrigo Bontorin versus Manel Kape. Manel Kape, man, someone I'm really high on in the flyweight division. I think this guy is going to be a problem for them soon. But let's talk about Rodrigo first. You know, he's coming off a loss against Brandon Royval back in January, a fight that people thought he won, honestly. So it was a split decision with the judges. Now you don't know who's ever going to win sometimes. Then he beats Matt Schnell. That's a very good win. Unanimous decision back on Oliveira Chandler. He got knocked out by Kai Kara France in the first round, who is fighting for the interim belt now against
Car France, baby.
So that's a loss. You know, he lost to another good guy. Then he lost to Ray Borg. He beat Paiva. Like, he's fighting good guys, you know. And then you got Manel Kape, who a guy the UFC signed, and a lot of people are high on. You know, he's coming off a win back in December. He's coming off the flying knee knockout back in August, and that against Osborne. And that, I'll never forget that. That was an insane knee. He lost a split decision in a fight. Could have won, you know, and then he lost his debut against Alexandre. So he's fighting good guys too. And, you know, he's coming off a 2-fight win streak now. So it's like, I think this is a favorable fight for him. The odds have him as a minus 220 favorite right now. So yeah, I'll make the pick after Kevin.
I'm gonna have to go with Kape on this one. He's the only person that, I mean, they're very similar. Like they have the same record actually, or no? Kape has a little bit better, yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna still have to go with Kape, but they're very similar, and there's really nothing much to say about this fight. I don't think this is a sleeper fight or anything. I think it's gonna be a mids fight, but that's just my opinion. And I think the next 3 fights coming up is like the real main event.
Yeah, I'm going Kape by first round or second round knockout. I mean, you look at this guy, he's been knocked out before. He got knocked out by Kai Kara France in the first round, you know, and Kai Kara France, yeah, he is very, very good, but still it shows this guy can be knocked out in the first or second round. And Manel Kape's the guy, I think he keeps winning. He's going to be in that flyweight contention, you know. There's not that many guys in this division that are going to the rankings high. And I think Manel Kape's going to be one of them. So I think he goes out there, finishes this guy in the first or second round. And yeah. Next fight of the night, Willie Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. And we all know what happened about 2 years ago. Fight of the year. This was such a good fight. You literally can't beat it. It was back and forth from the minute that bell rang. It was just amazing. Welly, who's coming off, she beat Joanna, split decision. You know, some people had for Joanna. I thought Welly won 3-2. Then she goes and fights Rose on the Usman Masvidal 2 card. She gets caught. It happened. She got caught with a high kick in the first round. She gets finished. Then she fights her in a rematch back on the MSG card in November. And Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if you gave it to Welly in that fight against Rose. It was a split decision for Rose. It could have went either way. It was a way more competitive fight. Welly was training with Henry Cejudo's camp before that fight. She looked very good. It was a close fight. Could have went either way, in my opinion. Then Joanna Jędrzejczyk hasn't fought since that fight against Welly back in March of 2020. So she took a lot of damage in that fight, as we all know. She has not been very active at all. She lost a split decision. She looked good in that fight. Don't get me wrong, but she hasn't been active, and Welly's been active. So will ring rust play a factor in this? I don't know. For a fighter like Joanna, it might, because she's stat good. She might just come out there and put on a performance. We don't know. But Kevin, what's the pick here?
You make the pick first. I made the last two, so you're making the next two, and then I'll make the main event.
I'm going with Willie Zhang here. I don't think Joanna beats her. I think big factors are Welly's been more active. She already beat her once. It's a 3-round fight. I favor Welly in a 3-round fight. If it was a 5-round fight, don't get me wrong, Joanna wins. I favor Welly in a 3-round fight. She's just been more active, and I just think Joanna, she's getting older, you know, and I just keep saying she hasn't been active. And I don't like that. I don't like when fighters don't come active.
Yeah.
She's coming back and she's fighting one of the best in the division. It's Rose, it's Carla Rose and Welly, Joanna, but Welly's up there. So I think Welly goes out there, she wins a 3-round decision. I think it's like a 2-1 decision. I think it's a very close fight again. I wish it was 5 rounds, but I'm picking Welly based off I don't like how Joanna hasn't been active, and I just think Welly's been more in the game lately.
Yeah, I kind of wish I went first because you said pretty much the same thing I was going to say. Whaley's been way more active. Not only has she's lost a couple of fights, but she's been fighting the highest level in that division. And as the wise Irishman once said himself, you don't lose, you learn. So Whaley's been learning, getting better, fighting the highest level of that division. Joanna's been fighting at American Top Team. And so it's just like, how is Joanna going to be like that old Joanna? I think this fight's going to be way different. I think it might go to decision. I think Whaley wins in decision. I don't think we're going to see any knockouts here.
Yeah, I mean, besides getting caught by Rose, Willie doesn't really get knocked out. She can take a shot. We know Joanna can take a shot. And right now, the odds have this as Willie's a minus 160 favorite right now. It's a close fight. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, if Joanna won, but I just don't think she wins based off the ring rust factor. And here were the stats in the first fight. Like, look at this. They were going crazy. Willie did shoot for 8 takedowns. So I don't think anyone's going to shoot for a takedown here. I think it's going to be another standing fight. Just going back.
I think they should just call this a draw, honestly.
I mean, yeah, it was so
close. It depends what you got on the cards, but
yeah,
looking at the stats,
it was a really, really close fight. And yeah, I wouldn't have been mad if you gave it to Joanna either. It was that close. But next fight of the night, Valentina Shevchenko versus Talia Santos. I'm really, who I'm picking here, but Valentina coming off the dominant win over Lauren Murphy, dominant over Andrade Maya. She dominates all the fights. Kagan, Liz, Jessica Ai, we all know what happened there. She just goes out there, she dominates. I really don't need to say much about it other than she's the best in this division. It's not a debate. Then you go Santos, who's coming off a rear naked choke win back in November against Joanne Wood. That's a solid win. She beat Roxanne Modafferi. She's up and down. Jillian Robertson. So Molly McCann. Molly McCann looks like a decent win now since she looked good in her last fight. We'll see how she looks in the next London card. But I don't really got to talk much about this other than that Valentina's a minus 630 favorite for a reason.
Oh my God.
So I mean, I understand that. And I don't think it's going to be like a situation like back in December where we saw Pena was a big underdog too, and she upset Nunez. Pena looked ready in that fight. She was not scared of her. I just don't think anyone in this division will beat Valentina. The only people in the world that can beat Valentina if they ever fought is Amanda Nunez, maybe Jessica Pena.
So, what's the size between them? What's the size difference?
Oh, the size difference. So Valentina,
because Talia looks kind of yoked in that photo.
Yeah, Talia has the size advantage. She is 5'6" compared to Valentina's 5'5". She has the reach with 68 compared to Valentina 65. But I'm going Valentina by like second or third round finish. I don't think this fight's close at all. I really don't.
Yeah, so for an obvious pick, Valentina. She's won 8 out of her 9 fights, I think, and no, she's won Fuck. No, Google. Let me see the record again. I had a stat on my phone.
Let's cut that out again.
I know. I am. Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. I got it. All right. So yeah, I think this is an obvious pick. Valentina Shevchenko. I think she's gonna absolutely destroy this Talia girl. I think it's gonna be over in probably. I'm hoping the first or second round because Valentina hasn't really gotten like I want to see like a nice crazy Valentina finish. You know how she head kicked Jessica I. That was crazy. Like I just want to because I haven't seen any of those knockouts from her. She's doing a lot of ground stuff. So I hope she does a more entertaining fight. Because, but either way, I got a stat on my phone. She's on an 8-fight win streak right now, and 7 of those are championship fights compared to what Talia's been facing, and she has a loss recently. I think this is too obvious to not pick Valentina.
Yeah, Valentina is definitely the pick here. I don't see how you pick against her, but let's get into the main event of the evening. Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prochazka. I can't wait for this fight. Glover Teixeira, man, beats Blachowicz in a fight. I honestly didn't think he was going to win. He dominated that fight. He goes out there, beats Thiago Santos. He gets hurt in the first round. He almost gets finished. He comes back, beats him in the third round. Anthony Smith, the fight where Anthony Smith was winning that first round. He goes out there, wins ground and pound in the fifth round. He just beat him up bad. He's just been winning. He just goes out there. He shocks you. You know, he's 40 years of age, I think now. He's going out there though and still doing his job. He's winning, man. He really is, you know. Then you got Yuri Prochazka. A absolute man. Dominic Reyes was spinning elbow was I've never seen something like that before. That was crazy. He goes out, beats Volkan in his UFC debut with an overhand right, knocked him out clean. Then in his rising days, he's just knocking you out. He's knocking you out. He's finishing you. Look at that knockout after knockout, man. Like this guy, if you're gonna get in a fight with Yuri Prochazka, it's gonna be a knockout most likely. And so my pick here is for me, Yuri Prochazka, first, second round knockout. I like him getting this done early. Glover Teixeira, he gets hurt early on. I don't think he's getting back up from a Yuri knockdown. I think Yuri's going to be ready for those takedowns. He's training with Henry Cejudo for the fight. He's been training for these takedowns. I know you can't learn how to defend a takedown against a guy like Glover in a whole camp, but I think he'll be ready for those takedowns. I don't think he'll get over aggressive. I think he'll know when Glover's going to shoot for that takedown. I just see Yuri going out there and finishing him in the first and second round. I really think this is a Yuri's fight doing. I think it's Yuri's time here. He looked ready in that interview with us. I think he's prepared, man. I think he finishes Glover on this night.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Yuri's second round knockout. I mean, I think it was kind of a little bit maybe of a fluke the fact that Glover beat Jan because Jan really did something looked off about Jan that night. Like he just didn't look like the Jan that fought Izzy. He didn't look like the Jan that fought. I just think Jan just didn't look the same in that fight. Something looked off about him. He didn't look like the same guy that fought Izzy or Luke Rockhold. He didn't look like that guy that night. But I mean, good on Glover. He's on a 5-fight win streak right now. He's 42 years old too, so who knows? This could possibly be his last fight too, depending on what happens at the octagon. But I really have Yuri second round knockout. This dude's a menace. He's a menace to society. You talk to the dude, he's so nice, but like I feel like when he's in fight mode, like this dude's a legit like modern Viking, and I just think Yuri's gonna get that knockout. He's gonna land like crazy with this crazy haircut. I love it. And
yeah. I mean, and another thing is Glover is talking about retirement. He wants to retire not after his fight, after his next one. He wants to go out on the MSG card in November. And when fighters talk about retirement, I don't like that. I don't like that. You're already thinking about your end of career when you got a big fight ahead of you against the scariest guy in the division right now. I don't think I will ever pick against Yuri Prochazka. I just think he's that good. I really don't think I'll ever pick against him unless, I mean, who in this division could beat him besides Glover?
I mean, anything can happen. Like
I agree.
Anything can happen in the sport. It's never
I
like
agree.
set.
Yeah, but right now I'm definitely not picking against him. I think he's just gonna go out there do his thing on this night. He is the favorite right now, minus 200, the moderate favorite. So, but Glover's always the underdog, and he always shocks you. He always.
What really put me on a Yuri is I was watching a fight night. I forgot what fight night it was, but it was like a year or something ago, a year or two ago, and I was watching this dude Yuri fighting Dominic Reyes. and I see this crazy haircut coming off the back of his head, and I'm like, all right, but it's a really good fight. Like they're swinging hard and they're landing. Both of them are landing. And then like I go get some popcorn or something I was eating, get a mouthful, look up. I just see Yuri do a spinning. It was a elbow, right?
Yeah.
Elbow, and Dominic Reyes just flopped on the face first to the ground. I was in shock. I was an automatic fan of this guy, and I'm so happy we had him on the podcast. So hopefully we can get him back on
Yeah.
after. That would be really fire. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm a Yuri fan. Especially if he wins this fight, probably gonna cop some Yuri merch if there's any good ones. But yeah,
Yeah, Yuri's a really, really nice guy. It was great speaking with him. And yeah, I just think this is his time. I know in the Dominic Reyes fight, he did get taken down a few times, but I just think he knows in this fight, Glover's path to victory is to get him down. And I just think he knows that if he doesn't get him down, he's in for a tough night, a tough
yeah.
night. So yeah, that's the picks for this one. Both got him by knockout. It's going to be a great night of fights. You can't deny it. Tune in this Saturday, 10 p.m., only on pay-per-view. Can't wait for this fight night card. Anything else to say?
Nothing else to say, but make sure. So a big thing we want to do a lot more lately is our challenges. Just please on our Instagram, Twitter, our YouTube comments, comment like any challenges you want to see. Like I'm talking about like funny challenges, like golfing, like you know what I mean, like what the normal YouTubers do. So please just put some challenges in. That cool challenges. We're gonna make up some too, and yeah, just appreciate you guys watching. We're growing slowly, but
Yeah,
we're gonna get there. We're gonna grow fast soon, especially
yeah,
this summer, I think.
yeah. The challenger videos are always fun. Trying to add a little more content other than the
Yeah,
interviews in there. It's
those are
been
my
fun.
favorite ones, I think,
Yeah, those are always fun.
and
We'll
these
be
ones too.
yeah,
I love these ones,
yeah.
but
We'll
yeah,
we'll be out with more challenges. Of course, we'll be out for the UFC 276 prediction video in a couple weeks when that comes. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next interview. Peace out,
all right,
everybody.
peace out, guys.